Hi everyone, it's Lyson again. Us together, yeah, we are back. I am so excited to be back with another interesting topic. I'm here with a very brilliant man called Becca. He's a journalist. He's successful. He's one of the young people you look up in the country. I'm excited. Come join me. Join me. Hi Becca.
Hello.
How is it anyway?
We're okay. In Uganda, things are always tough. It's always a struggle, so we live each day. So, yeah, it's another good day.
That's good.
Yeah, we are here.
Okay, that's good. Ugandans say that they're always struggling, but you'll be buying cars. I don't understand. We see
No,
you
but
cars, we see you traveling.
no, Kampala is a small town. So we are 45 million people.
Okay.
But when you see 100,000 cars on the road, you think there are many. The population is 45 million people. So because of the jams first of all are brought by the bad roads, the potholes, and also the bad driving. You know, you find the borders one coming the other side, the other one all manner of people are on the road who don't know how to drive. So partly is why there is traffic. So when you find the traffic, you think we have many cars. No, there are not many.
No, you know what? We shall talk to the government about that. Anyways, why we're here today is we're going to discuss an interesting topic. It is called letting go. I feel like so many times we hang on to workplaces, friendships, relationships, so many different things that are not working, but we're afraid of letting them go. So yeah, we're going to discuss that with Becca. He's going to tell us what he thinks. So Becca, the topic is letting go. What is letting go in your understanding?
I think letting go is to allow things that you have been close to, you are passionate about, but there comes a time when you have to part ways, to let things that used to make sense to you, to allow them go because of circumstances, because the opportunity cost of keeping them is so high, the cost is too high. So by keeping them, you are hurting yourself actually. So you allow them to live so that you can actually, by letting them go, you get back your life, because by keeping them, you are
So
actually...
in other words, they are not serving you anymore.
No, they are not serving you, and the more you insist on having them, you are actually doing a disservice to yourself. Yeah, but getting the point of realizing that this is something that I have to let go. Sometimes there are others who are swift. Right. Like for me, making a decision to allow things that I'm passionate about doesn't take long. Right. But there are others who can really hang into something that they should have left a long time ago. So it takes a person to determine when to allow something go. Others to know when to leave, yes. Others hang in for a long time, others are swift to make a decision, yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Even me, my ability to let go scares me sometimes. I just feel like, it's not working, I'm out. Anyway, so why do you think people are afraid of letting go?
No, sometimes it is the fear of the unknown.
Right.
One time I interviewed a man who is now actually a member of parliament. He's called Paul Mala.
Right.
He used to head Stanbic Bank in Tanzania.
Right.
The manager, the country director for Stanbic in Tanzania. So, but he had a farm to run, Ngeta group of companies. It is in Oyam, in largely the northern part of Uganda, in the Lango sub-region.
Right.
So, but he told me, you see, the biggest problem, for example, I'm a CEO of this company, I get so much allowances, I get these perks, I get to meet everybody who is who in this town, because you see Stanbic is one of the biggest banks in the region. Right. Therefore, you meet everybody you want to meet. If you want to meet the president, he will meet you. Right. But now, to make a decision that I have to leave, because he had a business he's running, that are in the business of producing cooking oil, simsim, soap and stuff. But for those businesses to be successful, he himself had to be present, because you can't do business on phone. Right. So if you want your business to run successfully, you, the owner, you have to be involved, hands-on. Even if digging, even if you want to do farming, so you can't farm on the phone. No. To make the decision to choose to leave, yes, to go and become self-employed, at the end of the month you don't expect a salary.
Right.
On the other hand, you expect people to ask for their salaries. So you become the person that people are going to look up to for salaries, yet there you've been earning, even when you are not working, still your salary will come. So it is really very hard for you to do.
Is partly because of fear
Yes.
of the unknown.
Yes.
And then also, you know, like being comfortable.
Yeah, where you are.
Yeah, being comfortable where you are. Okay.
And you know, I don't know of any person who is a billionaire who has made money who is employed.
Right.
Who works for government or works, unless thieves. But if you are not a thief, really, you can't really get money. You cannot become a millionaire, or you can't become rich working for another person. Okay. But for you to make the decision that I think it is time up for me to go and make my hands dirty and begin working for myself, it is really hard for you to arrive at that point. But we must understand that even me, I am not talking about other people, even myself. I have people my age who have done great things, working for themselves. But for us, you are like, if I leave now, how am I going to start those first 2 years, 3 years? How am I going to sustain myself?
So we also fear, I feel like what you're saying is like, we also fear the hard work
involved, yes,
the uncertainty and the risks that are involved,
and
the uncomfortable.
Yes. When you fail, you are not failing alone. It means your children will not be able to go to school. It means you won't be able to meet the basics of life. You've been working for Stanbic, you have insurance. You will not be, if you fall sick, you know you'll not be able to take yourself to hospital. So it's multifaceted. There is failure, just a simple thing like failing. It has got a lot of impact around you and people who look up to you or people who depend on you. Right. So all those, when you put them in perspective, you keep on saying maybe next year, maybe the other. So you keep on postponing what you would literally not have extended if these fears were not present. So fear is really the primary thing. But also sometimes
I've also heard that every good thing is another side of fear.
Yeah, of course. There is nobody who, there's nothing successful. There is nothing. No, you can never make progress in life when you fear to make decisions. Because life is decisions. Right. For you to choose to make, I have seen people, you say this platform is enjoyed by people across the world, in the diaspora and everywhere. Right. I have seen Africans die in the Mediterranean. Right. But those who succeed, they eventually end up, the Americans call it, live the American dream, you know. But for you to get the American dream, you have to pass through the Mediterranean. People live Asmara, that is Eritrea, Sudan, and go through the Sahel to cross through Spain. Others use Libya. They cross from many places, including Uganda. They go to Sudan, go to Libya, and cross to go to Europe. So, but it involves a lot of risks. And those who succeed, some of them say they have lived the American dream, you know. So, but you cannot live the American dream until you take those, you capture, you conquer your fears, right. and you say, let me take the rugged road to America, because it is never straightforward. I am not even saying that for a person to live a dream, the dream must be lived in America. But I'm saying, I'm just using that as an example, yes. Right.
Okay, that makes sense. So do you think that also our friendships or the people that we surround ourselves with could also, you know, influence us consciously, subconsciously to not let go? You know, let's say like I come to you like, hey Becca, I have gotten a job, I need to do this, and you're like, but man, here you're getting this. Like, do you think
that is true also? Partly that, yes, but also is that, let me give you an example like me as a journalist. I have so many friends of mine who have been in the media who have left. Right. But the moment you leave, That's the last time the minister will call you. That's the last time the IGP will call you. That's the last
so
time the
you don't
MP will.
want to let go of those
Yes.
important
Because they don't love you for who you are. They love yes, they like the
like
job
the
you. So every time you think about it, you see who are the people you are hanging out with. It's the ministers, it is the MPs, it is the celebrities of this town. They like you because you have a platform that they want to exploit.
Right.
But the moment you leave, that will be the end of the story with you.
Right.
You know, there are people who have left and you have never heard anything about it. But there used to be really big names here in town.
Right.
So all that, but your friends will keep on telling you, but you see, you're a celeb. Yes, why would you leave
But why
now?
would you be a celeb when you're broke?
It depends.
Not like broke, but like sometimes I feel
Yeah,
like
they are
saying-
broke. No, you said they are broke. They're
I
actually
said
broke.
some
No,
celebs.
many celebrities in Uganda are broke.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, they are broke.
Anyways, okay.
So, but you see, they would rather. You see, I find people who work for TV, who are on TV, and they live in Nigeria.
Right.
Nigeria is one of the swanky places. Me, I live in Nigeria, not because I have money, but because that's where my father, that's where I was born.
Okay.
So it is our home. But you find people who should be living in Boise, in Nansana, coming to Nigeria because simply they want to put up some appearance.
Right.
You know, so they live hands to mouth. Whatever they earn, they have to pay 2 million to live in an apartment in Nigeria. You see, but yet actually they should be staying in Nansana or in those areas. No offense whatsoever. Or in Wise. Those are the places that their incomes can afford them. But they live beyond what they can afford simply because they want. So a person like that, you can't tell him that leave your workplace right. Because it's like their workplace has become part of them. So for them
they find their identity
yes,
in their workplace.
Exactly. Yes. So a person like that will stick in even when all the circumstances are
showing them
that you should be living. It's time to live.
Right.
But they keep on insisting that no. I think this is the kind of life that people are. I am used to, and I can't let go. So, partly the friends will tell him, but how can you leave us? How can you, with all this you have, all so all those things actually also influence how people ultimately decide either to leave, to let go, or to stay here.
So from what you said, I've had fear. Fear is the number one cause from what we think. And then fear of the unknown, and then sometimes relationships like our friends, the society, and the need to hang on to the friendships or relationships that don't necessarily want us, but want the positions that we hold.
Yeah, even actually, let me say, even our families buy that. One time I wanted, my mother, I had a job I was doing, and then I resigned. For me, I've resigned. I am not too old. I started working in 2012, but I have done like 10 jobs, and they don't. They have never dismissed me anyway. I just leave. I just say, I think this is time. When I get bored, first if I do things and I don't see actual tangible things,
right.
I do things and I don't see change. I am incapable of influencing how things move. Someone expects me to do particular stuff and I am actually not able to do that.
Right.
So I don't want to be, in Uganda, we say like a cow that sits around a fireplace. So every time you hear it breeze, you think that it is now, what is the term? It's now helping the fire to continue burning. So, but I don't want that kind of thing. I want to, if actually I have no impact, I can't stay. Right. So, but I was telling about my mom. So I resigned the job. My first job, I told him, I don't think that I am productive there. Right. So I have to leave. So he said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to go and do business. So I told her the kind of business I wanted. And there is actually money because people who are doing it have money. I wanted to sell farm produce to go and buy. And she was saying, but did I take you to school to do that kind of work? Right. And she put a lot of pressure on me to not to do that kind of, but people who are actually doing that kind of, you have more money than many, their incomes are better than every person I know in the newsroom.
Really?
So, and actually,
You need to connect me. I need to
You,
start selling families.
when you add the incomes of like 10 people in the newsroom, it doesn't even equal to half of what one man who didn't even go to school.
Our friends work in the newsroom. Please don't expose them.
So but my mom was against it.
Right.
So eventually I also allowed, I was still young, I was younger.
So
So,
also family pressure sometimes can
yes,
make us
influence
do
you, yes, the kind of things you are doing, yeah.
Okay, so
And I'm talking about my mom. It can be your wife, it can be even your children, it can be your children, and I mean your friends and so on.
Right. Okay, so we've got that. So what do you think is the importance or are the benefits of letting go? I know it's usually a very tough decision because going into new territories is usually hard. Human beings in nature, we want to do what we know, like it's easier for us.
Yes.
So, but what do you think is the benefits of making that tough decision from your experience and from what you've seen?
No, yeah, it was Martin Luther King who said that you don't have to see the entire staircase for you to make the first step.
Right.
Sometimes you take the decision. Sometimes when the immediate impact sometimes is negative.
Right.
But whenever you persist in it, things begin to clear up. Sometimes actually you end up moving in the right direction when you ultimately make the decision to choose to live.
So making a decision is
it's very key,
important.
because you would rather make a long decision than not a decision at all. Yes,
Right.
and you'll never know that this is a wrong decision until you undertake it.
Right.
Because it is after you have undertaken something, unless actually there is evidence, empirical evidence, to show that that particular decision, everyone who has tried it has failed.
Right.
Maybe you would fear to say that this is an untraveled road. Nobody has tried it, but for you, if there is no empirical evidence to show that whoever has done this, the result has been this, so why would you fear to make a decision? So I think for ultimately to tell whether something is wrong or right is you have to first, yes, you have to try it. Yeah.
So the first thing is you have to make the decision.
And you know, people who have money, of course they will not tell you everything in their box, but many people who have had money, they are the people who make the tough decisions.
That's true. That's true.
So ultimately, decision is very key. Even if for a country, even if anywhere in the home, everywhere, making a decision is hard, but ultimately those who succeed are people who make the hard decision. And actually, the harder the decision,
the better the
the outcome. Of course, the risk is also always
High.
there, yes, but if you beat the risk, always the outcome is really always good.
Okay. So the benefits what I've had is the outcome is usually good.
Yes.
If you are willing to
Yes.
make a very, very tough decision. Okay. I like
And life is actually about decisions. I read Clinton's book called Hard Choices.
Right.
Hillary Clinton wrote a book about called Hard Choices. Sometimes you are presented with all impossible choices, but you have to choose between them.
Right.
You have no option of not making a decision.
That's true.
Yeah. So and life is actually about hard choices.
Right. And then sometimes actually they say that before something good happens, something bad first happens.
Yeah.
In other words, like before you even succeed, so yeah, sometimes you have to go through hard work. Like I would say, let's say like in terms of like school, right? Like people come on your graduation and they're celebrating, oh my God, you passed, blah, blah, blah. But they don't know the sleepless nights. They don't know the, like they don't know all these other tough decisions you've had.
People like gold.
Yeah.
But you know,
don't like the process.
the kind of process. Have you ever been where they mine gold? Have you gone through, have you been to a place where gold is mined?
No.
You know, gold is got from actual stones. And they are got many kilometers deep. So you get an actual stone.
Right.
They are the artisanals. You get an actual stone, you crush it. It becomes like powder.
Okay.
You sieve it. Then you extract, you can get 1 ton of stones and you get there less than 400 grams of gold. But when you have crushed 1 ton of stone. So sometimes even hard things. And actually also for this gold to be refined, it goes through fire. It goes through a lot of, fire at very high degrees for it to come out very fine.
Right.
So it means that all good things can't come, softly. They are go through hardship. I am not saying that I'm one of those ones who make the hard choices, but life is about
It's
struggle.
about
Yes.
choices. It's about choices. So what would be your advice to young people? Because I feel like one, we get stuck in, again, workplaces. We get stuck in friendships. Like you know, you're like I grew up with this person, right? I've known this person for years, right? But sometimes this friendship is not really serving you anymore. You know, sometimes you're in a workplace, like you said, you're in a workplace and it's like it's not serving you anymore. But it's like, oh, I'm used to this. And then, you know, it hinders our growth. And then you realize that a few years down the road, a few of your friends who have made the decisions have kind of succeeded.
I think the young people should.
We'll start with the young people, then we'll talk about
Yes, the young people should always, you know, sometimes also hanging around people who have done some of these things. It gives you the encouragement that actually it is possible.
It is possible.
But also we should learn the art of assessing, continuous assessing of what we are doing. When I'm writing my CV, these days I edit it, I have removed so many things because the potential employer will say, this one is too mobile.
Yes.
So, but whenever I realize that this is not working, and it is very easy to realize, by the way, that something is not working. Before you undertook something, you had expectations.
Right.
You are not meeting half of the expectations and you're still hanging.
Right.
Talk about relationships. We have a lot of domestic violence in Uganda. But partly,
Yeah, it's a lot.
but the reason why sometimes there is, one of the explanations for this high rates of domestic violence is that women in Uganda and many African countries are told,
Right.
you know, that
stick through regardless.
yes, regardless
You need to
of
stick
what
it
goes, I mean, of the kind of problems there, you know. So they end up staying in abusive languages. I mean, the relationships
Yeah.
that actually sometimes end up in being fatal. You know,
Right.
we have so many cases every single year. We have, even this week. In Uganda here,
Yeah,
we've
we
had
have
a
young
woman,
boy.
a girl who killed themselves. So, but one of the reasons why that happens is that you realize that this relationship is not working.
Right.
And you insist on moving. The man is abusive, the man is this, and even women, by the woman is this, the woman is that, the woman. It is not working.
Right.
But you say, because I went to church and they said what God has put together, no one can put us under. No, but
then
it
also
is not
society
working.
pressure.
No.
Society
Yes,
pressure.
yeah, and I am also involved in relationships of young people, and sometimes I go to talk to them. And say, what will my mother say? What will those ones who are at the party say? But it is not those ones who are in the party who are in this relationship.
Yeah.
It's not them who are being abused. So I
Like
think,
my theory with that is I already say that sometimes you are at an airport waiting for a ship to land. Yes, an airport is a landing site as well, but it only brings airplanes, doesn't bring ships,
Yes.
right? That's why I feel like sometimes people are in abusive relationship. You literally know this is not working, but you're too afraid. You're like, maybe it'll work, but bro, like it is not working. Like the boat is sinking.
yeah,
Like me, I leave, I run.
you wonder
Young
if
people need to start to
you
run.
are 6 months in a relationship, the man beats you every day. You're just
Even
6
if he
months.
doesn't beat you, doesn't love you. That's what I was told in Uganda. Apparently.
No, that's the man does so many bad things about you. He doesn't leave food. You are the one paying rent. When you are 6 months into a relationship, he has just married 6 months. How is he going to improve? Because when when the relationship is still young, there is still spark. The love.
The spark is there, yeah.
But every time that goes by, it goes on reducing. So you tell me that the man will learn to love you after 5
Like,
years.
I'll discuss that next time.
So
I need to bring
all
back
these
relationship.
things,
Yeah.
relate around one idea that
I feel like it's being able to make a decision.
Yes.
And knowing exactly
and
what you
and,
want.
and the evidence is in your eyes,
Right.
but you disregard whatever you're looking at, and with the hope with false hope that things will clear up.
Better.
No.
Okay, so as we wrap up, what are the three? If you had to sum it up, what would be your advice to young people or to everybody in general, like who is stuck in a place, they've been in a place for 5 years, 10 years, it's really not working. They've been in a relationship, it's not working. They've been wanting maybe to travel and they're just too afraid. Like they're really hung on to this one thing that is not working. what would be your advice?
I think they should conquer the fear. It takes time to conquer the fear, but
Conquer the fear.
I think it's high time they conquered the fear and took the first step. Otherwise, and you know, life doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't.
Before you know it, you are. Me, I've never done one job for 10 years. But after 10 years, or 20 years, you will have less people who are willing to take you on.
Right.
If you're in a relationship that is abusing you, after 10 years, it's highly unlikely that you will have it. Okay, it is possible, but the chances are lower.
Your emotions already messed up.
So I think.
So they should conquer the fear.
And take the first step. You don't have to see the entire picture of where you're going,
right,
because you are not a magician unless you are one.
No,
but if you don't have you can't have the entire picture of how things are going to look like. But until you make the first step, you never know what lies ahead unless you actually take that proverbial first step.
Okay, so you conquer the fear, take the first step. What is the third step?
When you do that, you take the first step, and I think you should also have expectations, lower the expectations that this can go in either way.
Can go either
you know,
way.
because when you go there, when you are all in, the disappointment will be too much.
Right.
But you should go there, but also knowing that this can go either way. So the expectation shouldn't be 100%. You should allow some room in your heart that this can actually fail. So whenever you go into something and you know it can actually fail, the disappointment is not too high.
Right.
And you know how to live with it, because after all, you were prepped before you went in. You knew that it can turn out messy, it can also be good. So either way, you are able to live with the choices.
Right. So from what I've heard is you need to lower your expectations, and then also I think you should surround yourself with people who are good to you. People who want to go, who have gone or want to go in the same direction that you're going. With that, I want to wrap up today. I want to thank you, Becca, so much for sparing your time. I know you're a very busy person. We really appreciate you. I hope all the young people look up to such people. If it's not working, please leave. It won't work. Please leave. Sit down as a person and ask yourself, who am I? What will work for me? What won't work for me? And just take what works for you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next time. It's Lighten again. Us together. Yeah. Bye-bye. See you next time. Peace.